President Bola Tinubu during the week reaffirmed his resolve to mobilize all military and law enforcement assets to eliminate insecurity as well as protect the life and property of all Nigerians. Tinubu made the pledge at the opening ceremony of the Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference in Lagos, where he was represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima. Emphatically, he stated that, in his quote, "We are primarily committed to the modernization of the armed forces through improved training, modern equipment, and enhanced operational capacity to confront evolving threats," end of quote. Joining us this morning on the show is Dr. Kester Enor, Senior Research Fellow at the Nigeria Institute of International Affairs. Enor will also review the President's intervention in Benin Republic as well as examine its implications on Nigeria's sovereignty. Good morning, Dr. Kester Enor. Always a pleasure to have you on the morning show.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
And thank you for having me.
Well, Dr. Enor, thank you for joining us. President Tinubu saying they are mobilizing all resources. We have had that before. Let's start with international affairs, which is what you do on a daily basis. Number one, Nigeria's intervention in Benin Republic. Some people have come up with conspiracy theories that Benin, in fact, did not invite us, that it was France that was behind it, and that poses a threat to our relations with other primary centers in terms of the fact that Nigeria is friendly with China, friendly with France. Even France is going to get involved in our tax regime in January. So should anybody be surprised that the U.S. is now saying there will be visa restrictions, Nigeria is a country of particular concern? How are we playing in terms of geopolitics? The second international affairs issue would be, or maybe the third one, will be the seizure of our Nigerian Air Force aircraft heading, we were told, to Portugal in Burkina Faso. Up to now, that matter has not been resolved. Our aircraft and our men are still detained in Burkina Faso. Let's start with geopolitics.
Thank you very much, Dr. Abati. Concerning Nigerian intervention in Benin Republic, I think Nigeria took a proactive action. When we look at it from the regional security complex theory, if we look at our proximity to Benin Republic, any maybe problem in Benin will likely affect us. So we look at it from different areas. There are a lot of theories to justify Nigerian intervention in Benin Republic. First and foremost, let's emphasize that it's not an encroachment on the sovereignty of Benin Republic. For the fact that Nigerian government was duly invited to intervene. The President of Benin made a call to Nigerian government, not only to Nigerian government, but to ECOWAS to intervene. And Nigeria deemed it...
You are very sure.
Do you have
the President of Benin?
That the President of Benin
made the call. From the statement.
Macron.
Which statement?
From the statement issued that Nigeria was asked to intervene. But going beyond even that call to intervene, Benin is part of ECOWAS. So Nigeria can even intervene as a regional security guarantor. We know that in ECOWAS, at least Nigeria is the regional security guarantor in ECOWAS. If you look at the resources Nigeria put into ECOWAS, you look at the strategic role Nigeria is playing in ECOWAS, it's not only in Benin. We did it in Liberia, we did it in Sierra Leone. And when you look at it, let's look at what happened in Liberia, let's look at what happened in Sierra Leone. Is our interventions in those countries not justifiable? When you look at it today, you can proudly say that what Nigeria did was quite justifiable. Yeah. So our intervention in Benin, you look at it again from the collective security theory. Whatever happened to Beninese will practically happen to Nigeria because the proximity is too close. So our intervention is quite good. Then we look at it from the point of a liberal institutionalism theory. At least ECOWAS, for the sake of at least maintaining the international norms and stability, Nigerian intervention, give credence to that of liberal institutionalism. Then coming again, looking at the hegemonic stability. Nigeria is a hegemon in West Africa. You may say that Nigeria are competing with other hegemons in Africa, but when it comes to West Africa, Nigeria is a hegemon. And if Nigeria don't intervene, how will it look like if you have maybe undemocratic government surrounding Nigerian borders? You know, at least it will create a serious catastrophe. Then we look at it again from what? Democratic peace theory. It is assumed that democracies, you know, are amenable to peace. They don't have much challenges in a democratic government. So if you allow Benin maybe to become autocratic or to become a military regime, it will create problems that may spill over to Nigeria. Then we look at it again from preventive security. It's better that Nigeria intervene, nip the crisis on the board, than not intervening at all. If they don't intervene at all, at least we may be having some issues we are having in Nigeria today. So it's quite good that Nigeria government intervene. And again, we should equally give credence to the army, you know, for those precise precision bombing. Because Benin is where the soldiers...
Yeah, but it's France that gave them the intelligence. That's why we're asking you. Do you truly have your information about...
So when you talk about intelligence, countries share intelligence.
Yeah, but it's France that provided the intelligence.
No, what I'm saying is...
For that precision bombing you're talking, it's France that's... That's why we're asking if you had the facts, right?
Hello, sir, what I'm saying is this. It doesn't matter where the intelligence comes. Okay. As long as the intelligence is accurate, at least it has helped ECOWAS and Nigeria precisely to nip the crisis on the board.
Okay, talk about Burkina Faso and the alleged violation of the AES airspace by Nigeria. There have been so many, you know, conjectures about it and contradictory statements, either coming from Burkina Faso or from AES or from Nigeria itself.
Well, in international system, when the flight can make an emergency landing, you know, so it doesn't matter to save the life of those and equally to save the life of the flight, it can make emergency landing in any situation. You understand? Yeah. So, but you can equally understand that even the coupists themselves, the leader of the coup, that's Lieutenant Colonel Pascal Tigri, he at least has entered into Burkina Faso. So a lot of issues are at stake. But with time, some of these issues will be unraveled.
Okay. All right. What does this what is misunderstanding among some of the states in this region? You know, we talked about Burkina Faso. Whatever the explanation is, the fact is that if there was a more cordial relationship with both countries, we shouldn't still see a detention of, you know, the aircraft and the personnel on board still in Burkina Faso. What does this speak to for regional security? At the 68th ordinary session of the authorities of heads of state and governments, they said they were going to institutionalize and operate 1,650 counter-terrorism brigade. However, for this to work and for this to happen, there has to be cohesion, unity. But it seems like the states in the Sahel, whether it's a coup happening, not agreeing with interventions or interference in some instances, how will this all go well for this fight against terrorism in the region?
Well, we have a multinational joint task force. And I'm happy that Niger is part of, you know, that multinational joint task force. I'm happy that Niger is part of that process. Well, we don't have a direct border with Burkina Faso, but it's obvious that these insecurity challenges touches, you know, everyone within the West African region. We all witnessed what happened last time about the unconstitutional change of government. I know that Nigeria believes in democracy. At least if you come as a regional hegemon, Nigeria, we have made a lot of effort to make sure that democracy is institutionalized within West Africa, you know. However, there are some of the challenges we are still facing, like some of the countries under military rules, you know, under junta rules. So some of those countries, discussions are going on for them to return back to democracy. You know, just quite recently, some of these countries moved to the association of what? Sahelian states, forming their own, you know, forming their own union, you know. Yes, but we still believe that they will come back. Okay. But because they're not under military rule, they're not under civilian administration, you know, at least relationship will be fractured.
Okay, so am I confirming that no more question we need to go because Okay, take care. Have a good one. We need to go. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Kester, for joining us on The Morning Show.